Yo, morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the psychiatric, self-therapeutic, multimedia project for me to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles in my life, self-improvement process to reach the highest goals and ambitions for myself. If you would like an introduction and a broader summary as to what we do on this channel, how we break it down into domains of life, sub-series, analogies, and the whole concept behind it, including the live streaming schedule as well as the copyright-free music. You can find all that kind of jazz, all the jazz, in the previous live streams for the past 3.5 years straight up to January 2021. It's all covered there, including copyright-free music as well as the content schedule and so on and so forth. So with that being said, let's just dive into what we have in store today. I'll lower the volume a little bit. Okay, second part is just the table of contents. So we're going to break down this stream into roughly about 7 or 8 different segments. The whole stream in total is not very long. It's only about 14 minutes long, so you can stick by for everything. Very short. And so this second, after this portion, table of contents, we're going to move on to basically cover the third segment, which is photography. If we have any food today to show, I think that's pretty much what you see is what you get. The granola bars right here on the left hand side, as well as the bottom. That's from my colleagues' class for items. We're going to talk about that a little bit. After the photography and diet and food nutrition session, we're going to move on to the fourth. The fourth is usually more active. So I'm waving my hand right there. You see in the backdrop. That's my room. That's region D1 specifically, and we're going to be actively moving and engaging, moving around in the room and covering some things that are physical items that we really have to cover. That's the fourth. The fifth segment, after that, we're going to try to sit down, just like I am right now, and cover some abstract things like relationships, finance. Usually these are higher priority items. These are domains of life, I call them, or variables or factors in life that are more abstract, that I can't really show you. Say, you have a friend, you have a colleague, you have conversation. I can't really cover that with visually. I can only talk about that. And then the last two segments first will then be more digital. So as opposed to physical or abstract, I'm going to switch it towards the laptop right here in the backdrop panel, as well as the right hand side. You see all the listing here, the task list. So that's all digital stuff, and it basically can capture information. So that's the information aspect of life. Things that I can show you through representation, through language, through text, through numbers, charting graphs and stuff like that. So we're going to talk about finance or any new inventory that came up, any sort of plans I have for the day, covered in that sixth segment. The seventh segment immediately afterwards is just very briefly, if you guys have comments, it's my way of engaging with you. That's the last and final segment before I do the take-home message. Basically, the seventh segment is just replying to you. You can leave comments during this live stream. You can leave questions. You can just throw up memes, or it doesn't have to be super serious. I know I'm doing things and I'll get to that in a second. It seems like I'm being very serious right now, but if you want to be comedic about it, you can have fun and just leave some jokes and crack some jokes on the side. It doesn't have to be super formal. Alright, and then the last thing, of course, is the take-home message as usual. So with that being said, let's just dive into it. Before that, two quick disclaimers. The first one is that, of course, this is going to be real, raw, and genuine. It means that I cover the good, the bad, and the ugly in my life. No matter what insecurities or emotional baggage, I'm going to run through it. I'm not going to be PC, because this is supposed to be one of the analogies of the Ahn Project is for it to be a time record, a time capsule. So obviously I have to be honest to a certain level and cover even the ugly things in life. So be aware of that. And the second thing I should mention as a disclaimer, it's supposed to be a high utility stream. Obviously you can tell that this has a lot to do with comprehensive, like, game management system of life. If that's another analogy to describe it. So this has to be useful for me, and it may be relatable or useful to some of you as I cover some of these topics. Hopefully that is the case. So let's start with the photographs. I'll move on the left hand side panel. There's only 2 photographs today. I actually have about 10 photographs of this kind of Quaker yogurt vanilla bar, and the main highlight for this is really just that it's a class 4 item. So to show some gratitude and appreciation, this is something I received from one of my colleagues at my workplace, who's really tried to help me open up to other people, to accept help from my friends, my colleagues, my fellow volunteers, the owner of my, so on and so forth. And basically she always tries to give me these little treats and say, just let us help you. and I appreciate that. And that was actually my dinner yesterday. I had like just a few granola bars, and that was pretty much it, and a sandwich, I think, with some pizza dip. So that's about it. You can see I captured the nutritional facts there. It's apparently got 11 grams of sugar, a gram of fiber. Again, it's not something very large, but it was enough for me to keep me going, at least take my supplements for the day. So thank you to ML, just showing some appreciation. And it is something that you guys can do, it's a good habit to set yourself in, to keep yourself positive, find something that you can be thankful every day. 2-3 items, 2-3 people, 2-3 concepts, whatever. Let's stand up to the fourth segment. So let's get up. All right, get up, get moving, get that blood flowing. All right, so this is region D1. I have to say, not a lot has changed. This is just trash right here. I have some recyclables in here that I need to throw away, as well as some trash inside. This is gonna be a very short fourth segment today. I want to turn to the side here. We have some trash here as well, what I intend on using. So this is some logistical stuff where I didn't take a photograph of these, but I received these as a class 4 gift item from my I have a side business going down right now in Usana Health Sciences with a partner, KM. So big thank you to KM. But she gave me these Usana Booster C600 dietary supplements. And so it's a lot of just antioxidants, basically, to reduce chronic inflammation. Again, that's in my own field of molecular research. That's something that I do a lot when I was back in university, so I'm familiar with this kind of stuff. But aside from that, there's just trash here I had from work. So this is covering another class 4 item. Class 4 meaning gifts, again, from my colleagues or whatever. Took about 3 bars. Products that basically were going to expire at the workplace. So they've given it free to the staff just to consume it before before it becomes unsellable, really. And it's just a little treat. So I took about 3 of those. Like I said, that's my makeshift dinner. And now I'm going to sit down because that's all I have today in terms of the fourth segment. It doesn't have a lot of garbage to cover. Again, for some reason I neglected to start off the stream's thumbnail with this light here, which can change colors. It's something that I was supposed to do, but I didn't. Maybe I'll get it done tomorrow. So let's sit down now on this chair. This is again region A7, A8. I'm going to sit down A5. And okay, let's cover the more abstract things. Let's switch up what way. Let's talk about relationships and finance, and maybe just how the day went. So yesterday, if you can see the title, I guess it's a little more abstract thing once again, emptiness. And I think you can sort of hear it in my voice right now, in the way in the mannerisms that I'm trying to portray right now. And maybe not even trying. I think I think that's exactly what it is. I'm not trying very hard at all. And that's good. I found this steady state where I'm not trying too much, I'm not trying too little. I'm not too careful, and I'm not too careless. And the past 9 months have been absolute hell and chaos, and I think it culminated yesterday when, yesterday was funny because I left a stream saying that, the best day in the past 3 years after having finance, employment, business, project, caregiving, health, my disease, both family and outside, blood and outside, everything just collapsing in on itself because I've been trying to do too much, or really more like life just puts so much on your shoulders anyways. Regardless of whether or not you decide to do it or not, you still have to handle and take full responsibility and just handle whatever shitstorm comes your way. Especially you should just be grateful for the fact that you're in 2021 as opposed to 200 AD, right? So as far as I'm concerned, I'm very grateful for that. And but I collapsed under the strain numerous times. Then yesterday, I didn't really actually collapse, or more like in a sense that I was just disappointed in my own ability. When I was at the workplace, the day before this, I left the stream. It was best day ever. I mean, for the past 3 days. I mean, best day in the past 3 years, really. And then of course followed after that was just kind of a meh day. But the main highlight was just having been at my workplace. I was disappointed in my performance. I came over there, and for some reason I just submitted. It's kind of like that moment where you have a manager come up to you, and you're supposed to be working together like partners, like a team. But for some reason I recessed into my old habits, and even though I was supposed to lead the way because I knew what I was supposed to do, I stopped and I let her walk ahead. And it struck me because it tells me a lot. It's very telltale. It's very telling about my own behavior, about how I still have so much to overcome. Because I thought at that point I had developed enough leadership, enough initiative, enough confidence. And, it was just weird. I recessed. And then the rest of the day after that was I just couldn't get that out of my head. Why did I take a step back and let someone lead me again? Am I still a child? Like, I'm supposed to be an adult now. So that was, and then of course the negative thinking, all the habits came back to me based off of the domestic issues of trust issues and overthinking and all that negative thoughts. So I allowed that to overcome me again. And so then it was a meh day. But, it wasn't surprising. It was still an uptick as far as I'm concerned. The trend for the past 6 days has still been an improvement overall in general because, after the best day, you can only have anything. You can't really get better than the best day so far, right? Okay, so that being said, after that, I think I lost all emotional feeling. I just said, after everything I've done so far, whether it was caregiving, health, disease, finance, employment, business, this project, personal, philosophy, ethics, and everything, I just realized that I'm still just going to continue disappointing myself, and there's no point in letting this bother me, of course, right? And this is not some revelation or anything, I've come to this many times, but for the first time, when I discarded all my emotions, and I didn't even, it was involuntary, I just stopped feeling, actually. I just started feeling numb. I was fed up, and I just, no more feeling. I just did what I needed to do, and that's largely the most important thing. It was just to keep moving, regardless of whatever I'm thinking, regardless of whatever I'm feeling or thinking. I just keep moving forward, and I got the most done in yesterday's. So yesterday's day was very empty in the afternoon, but I got the most done in that evening than, say, the entire past 3 weeks, than any single day in the past 3 weeks. Yesterday was the highest utility day. It was the most useful day. I got the most stuff done. And then the day before that was the best day in terms of emotionally wise, and it was the happiest day I've had in the past 3 years. So the happiest day followed by the most useful day, right? So okay, not bad. Moving on, I have only about a minute left. So as far as when commentary goes, it seems like the 7th segment is going to be a skip because there's nothing here. I'm going to go over here and move on to the digital aspect here. And I say, the 6th segment, here's kind of like the tracking, the numericals. I plan on getting the graphical stuff worked out over the coming weeks so that I can have something visual to show you aside from just numbers. But in terms of fitness and diet and waist, I would say that it has been kind of like stable and maybe like, kind of going up and down like that. In terms of inventory, I did binge eat yesterday in the afternoon, which was, it was kind of controlled, so I didn't eat too much, but it was some class 2 items from my guardians. I didn't take any photographs of that. I maybe should have, but I didn't. That's fine, not a big deal. Some home cooked food that I shouldn't have eaten, that was plays into domestic issues, so I don't feel comfortable eating stuff like that. I just shouldn't. And then that's about it, so we're gonna move on and deliver a take-home message, and I gotta go to work. Today's the 6th day, of course, overtime, and we're just going to be continue working overtime, and it's a good challenge for me to get used to in terms of employment, managing business projects, my own health, in addition to working 6 days a week. So it's going to be just a good challenge. With that being said, the take-home message is to take care of what? Your health, yourself. Make sure you take care of your responsibilities and your finances and the people you care for. Make sure you do that because I'm not trying to preach, just trying to share what I hope you agree with me here, that you can only take care of the people that you love when you can take care of yourself first. And so with that being said, overcome whatever challenges you have in life and reach whatever ambitions you set for yourself. So with that being said, hope to see a better version of you as well as myself in the next live stream tomorrow morning. This is Ahn Rho signing out. Thank you. Ciao.